Hello, Freedom Nation. Welcome to 2026. This is Jeff, and I am here on the Freedom Nation podcast. And on today's show, I've got Ben, the mushroom guy, on. Ben actually comes from a automation background, AI automation, and started a business about a year ago that sells mushroom-based products. So you're going to get to hear how he kind of changed from what he was doing to create a business that had really a fantastic first year. And you're going to get to hear about how he's increasing and growing the distribution of his products. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on in just 1 second.
All in you. Everything you're looking for, it's all in you. You gotta believe that it's all in you. You're searching for, it's all in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Ben, how are you, my friend?
Fantastic, Jeff. I'm looking forward to the start of this year, that's for sure.
I know. I'm right there with you, my friend. I'm doing the same thing. I launched a big new part of my business, and I'm really excited about kind of it brings three businesses together into one that I've been working on. So I'm excited as well. And I'm not quite as automated as you have made your life, but certainly, hopefully, we'll get there pretty soon.
Hey, one step at a time.
I'm right there with you, my friend. All right, well, let's start off. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get to where you're at today?
Well, my story is complicated, like of most people's lives, lots of roller coasters up and down. I did start with a criminology and law degree. I was meant to take over a family law firm in Australia.
Okay.
Ended up doing a lot of business in Canada. I was very loving just e-commerce. Like I literally started my e-commerce journey when I was 16.
Okay.
I'd go to Hong Kong because from Australia, going to Hong Kong is a 4-hour flight. Going to the US is a 13-hour flight. So you go to Hong Kong, you can get to Hong Kong, return for like $400. And I'd go to those trade shows.
Nice.
And I would sell products online. So one of the big things back then was setting up, what was it? Yahoo stores was the whole shopping system. And that's kind of evolved. I got involved with a lot of people in Behind the Secret. The self-help gurus, was in the self-help space for a long time. And I was always automating and scaling their businesses. I know in 2024, we helped scale a tax processing company from about 250 grand to like $150 million in files processed in less than 9 months. And the thing is we automated their workflows. We implemented robot employees. I was doing what accountants were doing in 4 hours or so. I was doing it in about 60 seconds. And then after that, had some partnerships issues and all this type of stuff. I was just burnt out, honestly, like completely burnt out. I'm like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And what do I really want to do? And then literally, I came across some mushrooms. This opportunity fell in my lap, and I'm like, you know what? This sounds peaceful. And ever since then, I built this business, and I literally started building this company in my RV while traveling around the US. And I loved it because I'm like, I got rid of all my Fortune 100 consulting clients because they're just drama. You'd have meetings about meetings and scheduling agendas and all this type of stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, this is going to take us 12 months to deploy. I'm like, dude, I've already freaking deployed it. I don't need a meeting, an agenda, and a scan. And then it's got to go through all the approvals.
12 layers of approval to get there and everything else.
Oh yeah, and then this person has to look at it for this and that. I'm like, gosh, like you guys kill more projects than you actually deploy, and you blow inefficiency. And I was an automation systems guy, so like that inefficiency stuff just blew my mind, right? I got lucky. I dived into this, and the more I dove into the world of mushrooms, the more frustrated I got with the whole medical establishment world, holistic health in general. And I started seeing that the economy was swinging back to holistic health, realizing that, pharmaceutical is great, but like it's not the answer. And that just caused our business to kind of blow up because we really focused in on what was beneficial. Like we sold 5,000 products in less than 90 days, all through Facebook ads, right? This isn't anything crazy. And then it was always just focusing on a company product that was all around no fillers, no synthetics, just the best possible product. So I call it no compromise. And just taking that approach to if I create the best possible product and let you experience it, you then love it and tell other people about it. My whole job becomes easier. Where if I create an inferior product, you get washed in the crowd, if that makes sense. So really my journey started from that. Now scaling this up, we're literally building a 28-acre mushroom farm in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. We're building out our distributor systems in the US, where I've created this whole mission to feed 1 million people this year, because we're creating our own instant meals and mushroom jerky line. And we're also, part of that is I want to share the wealth. I've got no one to leave this empire to, so I'm literally turning this into turning our grow operations into a co-op. And I've created a challenge to recruit 1,000 distributors, show them how to get to 100K, and then literally go, well, how frequently do you want that 100K to happen for you? Do you want it to happen quarterly, monthly, weekly, whatever the hell? You can scale. Some people are okay with 100K a year. Great, fine, whatever. But if you want 100K a month, let's get you there. Let's literally support you. And I think that's that thriving community. It's more than a mastermind. It's a way of life of moving people through. And I just keep stepping into this arena and going, okay, we can really do so much here. The journey's been, as straight as a dog's hind leg, to be honest. But you know what? It's been a hell of a lot of fun. But what I'm seeing now is this whole diverse world of e-commerce and working with pharmaceutical companies and manufacturing, and now AI automation and cybersecurity is literally culminated in this company just exploding, because I get to bring different knowledge facets to an offering. And previously I thought that was a weakness. My ex-wife would always say, you've been involved in 30 companies. And that's I got more knowledge from those companies than I did in my law degree, right? So the thing is it's not necessarily a weakness. And now it's now this is just my focal point of, this is what we're doing for the rest of my life, and creating that legacy.
So tell me a little bit about the journey. How did you come across the whole, how did mushrooms become a business for you? Let's just start with that.
It was literally by coincidence. I was literally in a small town in Missouri, of all places. And I was just talking to a guy I was about to do a land deal, acquire some land in this place. And the guy was he had a mushroom business. And he was tired of it. He was burnt out. He had partner issues. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a quiet life in a small town. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, all right, well, I can't be in this small town anymore. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to move to back where I love, which is Rogers, Arkansas, Pea Ridge, Arkansas, just because of the culture and the life. And it's the home of Walmart. It's a billionaire's playground, and most people don't even know about it. So I kind of moved everything back here because I'm like, this area I love, and just continued doing this. And I love it because every day I would get feedback from people going, this is changing my life. I would have 70-year-old preachers, priests from New York, who are like, you've got no idea. I have more energy to give to my community now, and I'm no longer having to have a nap. I have people dealing with cancers being able to do awesome stuff. I'm having people have energy for their family, and they go, this stuff is phenomenal. Or people go, hey, I've been able to reduce my coffee. And it was that continual feedback that was there's something here. Just keep diving. Even though people go, oh, you must be a mushroom forager. Never foraged mushrooms in my life. What I knew is we had a good product, and we could just make the product better. We could improve the product. And if we did that, everything else got easier. And then it's just, it was tough though, because literally I was in a town, I knew nobody. I'm like, all right, my first objective was literally 10 sales a day. That was literally the whole objective. And even when we onboard distributors now, I'm like, great, your mission is get to 10 a day, and keep asking yourself that quality question, because quality questions make a quality life. 10 a day. 10 a day. How do I get to 10 a day? Because most people go, well, how do I get one a day, right? And then they only get one a day, and they forget they forget the threshold of moving momentum. right? So it's always this kind of residual. And the advantage is when people put this on subscription, like it's very quickly that your 10 a day turns into 20 a day, 30 a day, 40 a day, and you achieve your goals. So
Yeah.
I knew that if I just had to lift my gaze, and like everything was about that one mission. It wasn't about getting to $100,000. It wasn't about moving 1,000 bottles. It was literally just
It was
10.
the things that you could execute on, which is, okay, I can get 10 people and then get them on, get them on recurring revenue, and, then it just grows. I love it.
Yeah. And so therefore it's not rocket science. And then like, it was like, but I went through this process, like where we were testing 150 ads, sometimes every 48 hours, because that's what we do. We know how to test ads, and then we can do that for people. And then I was just like, well, now I've got all this data of these are the talking points that engage people. This is the data. So I share it with my people and go, you don't have to start from scratch. Here, stand on this foundation. And people are like, nobody does this. I'm like, what, why? Like, they're like, people are like, aren't you worried about them competing against you? I'm like, the market for holistic health and mushrooms is like,
it's massive.
So like, even if I was spending $10 million a week on Facebook ads, it still wouldn't be enough. And then that's only Facebook. That's not TikTok. That's not everything else. That's not direct mail. That's not conferences. That's not events. And I usually do about 40,000 miles of travel a year, traveling around the country, going to different events, different expos, all this type of stuff. And like, people are like, that's crazy. I'm like, okay. And like, when this is your movement, and when you're like, this is your life, it's just like, this is fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about, because you and I, before the show, we're starting to talk about, how you've started to build out your distributorships and stuff like that. So let's get into that a little bit, of explaining how you're now, you started off very successfully kind of growing the business. Now you're in the scaling process. Explain the model that you're using to scale.
Yeah. So one of the models that always has fascinated me and has has stood the test of time was the milk run, bread run, boar's head meat style model. Most people don't think of that as like, these are the people who sell boar's head meat to grocery stores, restaurants, all that type of stuff, right? It's like local territory account management. And that model has always fascinated me. And I'm like, I want to build a business that leverages that, because it creates local touch points, because those become scalable, saleable businesses. Right? You can have multiple territories. You can have multiple trucks on the road. You can scale those things. Like, you don't need 1,000 products, right? And so I kind of chose that model. And we broke the US down into 250 territories. So we'll have over 1,000 distributors, or if they want an exclusive in a territory, they can secure it. And that's the model we're doing. So we're taking the best of all business. And I wanted to make sure we built this culture around, well, do what works for you and how you want to design your life. So it's not like, oh, you need to do farmers markets. If you don't want to do farmers markets and you only want to do TikTok ads, fine, great. And this is one of the things. It's just like, there are so many channels online. It's like, well, I wanted to empower and equip my distributors to be able to sell on any single channel. I wanted them to sell on Amazon, on Target, on Walmart, wherever they want. Do local distribution through chiropractors, holistic medical practitioners, all this type of stuff, right? Because when you start thinking about that, it's just like, well, who in your area has your clients? Like, anyone in holistic health, anyone in fitness who's looking for more energy, because one of our big things is we have energy gummies and energy or recovery. We have a supplement line, which is all mushroom products for rest recovery with people with PTSD, things like that. Huge fan. So then you want to work with people in the military, veterans, people who deal with trauma. Like, you can actually help them get rest and recovery.
If that's your community that you're in, or you're in a largely military community, okay, well, there's people that are dealing with PTSD and, and issues around that. So, yeah, it's awesome.
So it's just like, okay, so how do I facilitate you to be the local account manager, but then also build your own distributors, your own wholesalers, your own sales team, so you can literally build a saleable asset. And one of the parts of that is recurring revenue and the models that go with it. So I kind of built out that model, and one of the crazy things is when I was looking at all the software options to run this type of stuff. Oh man, those things started getting expensive. I'm like, man, the software
Yeah.
licensing fee for one piece to calculate the commissions was going to be like $100 and something thousand a year. And I'm like, that's just before we turn the lights on. And then like,
Insane.
yeah, but that also then creates this downward pressure on the entire company of, we've got this nut to crush, if that makes sense. And I'm like, well, I don't know what's happening in the economy. I wanted to make sure our nut as a company and the nut for any distributor is as small as possible. So you can be so efficient and then therefore competitive. So we literally spent the month of December rebuilding our own AI tool system, which is the CRM. It's the website system. And literally, if we use it as a company, you as a distributor or an affiliate or a sales rep literally get to leverage the exact same assets and systems. And when I was looking at all this, I was looking at a lot of these models, and probably as you know, a lot of companies, like, the company's doing this over here, but you as a distributor get to do this over here. I'm like, yeah, but it's obvious that this doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, so now let's talk a little bit about if somebody's interested in becoming part, or, their interest this is something that they're like, hey, I really am interested in this process. How does somebody get involved?
Yeah, so it's really simple. Like, I've on the bottom of our website, we built out a distributor thing. I've literally in the process of building out an entire presentation and system right now that just explains everything. It puts it all up front. It goes, if you want to schedule an appointment based on the data you've seen, schedule an appointment. If you want to secure a territory, check the territory you want, see if it's available. Do you want to be a sole operator, or do you want it exclusively? And the way I designed every territory is that every territory has in excess of $1 million of possible revenue to facilitate from. So and then through that, it's just like we then onboard people into the 1,000 to 1,000, 1,000 to 100,000 challenge. And it's literally the challenge we just continue running. We help people onboard and get success. And to be honest, I started the distributor system at $5,000. Like that's literally it, $200 a month. Like, as a business to launch, absolutely nothing. Considering I spent in excess of $500,000 last year on systems, consulting, and everything else, let alone we're putting in a multi-million-dollar infrastructure that's already in play to facilitate expansion and growth. So they get access to all of that. So I think as a business, I want to create something that people rave about, because you can.
Well, and I think it's you see some of the network marketing companies and stuff like that you can get in for $350. I think people treat that exactly like that. They don't even treat it like a business. They just treat it like, okay, well, $350. If I fail, it's not $5,000 is enough that somebody who's just starting out, it's like, okay, I got to think about this and I can't screw around because I'm going to lose, a chunk of money, but it's also, not a $50,000 franchise that, you get into and figure out you aren't going to be good at it.
Oh, 100%.
So I think,
And the thing with that is, I still know people need to buy product. They need to maybe buy an event booth kit. They need to have money for Facebook ads. And I'm like, you know what? We believe in what we're doing so much. We even finance it as the company itself, right? So the thing is yeah, great. Put it on a payment plan for 6 months. That's fine. No problems. We know it works. I know what's possible. And so there's not many companies that do that. They'll send you out to some other credit one. You're running this high interest bloody loan and and then you've got to finance business operations. I'm like, no. I want you to be able to finance. Your ads could be as little as $500, $1,000 a month to start launching your business. It's not rocket science. And a lot of people want to overcomplicate it. It's just well, I got to do this. No, dude, I go and talk to any holistic professionals. We actually set up the entire business model now. We're one of the first mushroom companies that literally do it, is to give away samples of the product. You go, try it. People just pay shipping only. They get the samples for free. And we turn these samples into $180 average order value, because they're holy shit, that stuff, I can feel that stuff. Like you can literally feel this product in less than
Wow.
15 minutes. So that
Wow.
model allows us to go, yeah, the product works. That way, the bottle is worth $99. It's a month's supply. And when you compare it to the 10 supplements you're taking to compete with this, it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But people are like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's premium. But I'm like, well, that's okay. Like, so a lot of people are always like, well, can we sell it cheap? I'm like, if you sell it cheaper, that's on you. Like,
Yeah.
you're just taking away your own food. So yeah, you can do that. But like, we're on a mission to be able to feed
If
a
you
million
want,
people. So there's great
right.
things happening from this, and people are willing to pay for stuff that's good.
Yeah. So what do you see, if you put your future glasses on, what do you see this company looking like in 5 years?
I believe the company will be in excess of $100 million a quarter. We'll have the multiple integrations of it. So we'll have the distribution system, which is the Bare Remedy side. We'll have the Bare Remedy Grow, where we're growing our own mushrooms. We're also selling and then licensing our mushroom grow systems. So you can have a grow operation in your own backyard if you want. And then you're literally getting shipped the food to grow. I believe that over the next 5 to 10 years, food supply is actually going to become very, very important at a local level. And because I think there's things happening in our economy right now, and from a food perspective, that is troubling. And people aren't seeing the impact today of decisions that have been made, if that makes sense. So access to food, I think, is going to become very important. The mushrooms we're growing are high protein based source mushrooms. Our instant meals will be very, very popular, MREs, as well as the jerky products. And like the education of that. There's another angle to this as well, which is adding in trading carbon credits because of what we can do with the things we're doing. And it's like, we've got a complete vertical farm system that we're building in, that we actually even sell our byproduct, our waste, as fertilizer products and things like this. So for people in the holistic farming, want natural fertilizers, like we've got those as products. So like we're working out how to leverage the entire business line to provide strength. And I know a lot of people are looking for community. They're looking to be a part of something that's not just a gimmicky product. So I think over the next 5 years or so, like the company will be rather solid, and it's all going to be member benefited. Literally, like all of the profits, all the revenues, we're going to just be distributing back to all the members in our co-ops, and just sharing it. Because what's the point of building a $100 million company when I've got no one to leave it to? Like, there's no kids on my radar. There's not going to be in my plan anymore. So it's kind of like, well, like there's only so much you can do. So it's about, how do I have people thrive?
Better.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Well, cool. What's coming up on the horizon that you might want to share with us?
Coming up on the horizon, we're just starting to launch our local distributor side. Like, it's really launching our presence, going from this online to really launching in a grassroots movement, and creating that hub of holistic options for people. That's really what we're doing. And I think that also then becomes a competitive advantage, because if an AI algorithm changes how something works online, we're still doing human connection. And that's, I think people undervalue that in today's economy. And it's like, one of the things is like, I'm like, well, I could have focused on acquiring a whole bunch of channel distribution and literally gone the Walmart routes and all this type of stuff. Or I'm like, well, or I could empower 1,000 local distributors to be my Walmarts. So
and they're real people, and not, I mean, the Walmarts of the world will squeeze you to death on price and everything else. And, yes, you may be distributed, but, it's in the midst of a ton of other holistic products that are on their shelf at that point. Whereas this, you've got one person that's really focusing on that. So I love it.
Yeah. And we're, like, people can start at part-time, move into full-time, do a transition plan. It doesn't have to be a whole hog thing, but I'm really excited by that movement, because The whole company is built around how do we help 1 million people on their holistic health journey every single year. And achieving that, like, you change people's lives, you make a real impact. When people are going through health issues and you help them because of the product line, extend their lifetime line, extend their life horizon. Like, that's not a small thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, fantastic. Well, let's transition into the fast 5 questions. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first question. You wake up in the morning, business is gone. You have $500 in your pocket, a laptop, computer, place to live, food and clothing. What do you do first?
Create a killer offer and connect it to some Facebook ads. That's literally it. I would just be like, okay, great. Killer offer, Facebook ads, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Liquidate my customer acquisition in less than 30 days, less than 21 days, less than 14 days, less than 7 days, less than 3 days, less than 24 hours, like on that shrinking cycle, and just go from there. And I had to do that last year. I literally had my merchant accounts shut down, not because I did anything wrong, but they're like, yeah, we just don't like these products anymore. What do you mean you don't like these products anymore? Like, what on living hell do you? What do you mean?
You're selling too much of these. That's what I always love. You're selling too much of this stuff. Okay, well, you're getting paid transaction fees on all of this. So, I don't see, but I've heard so many people in the online world that, just all of a sudden out of the blue, merchants will just decide, no, we just don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is like $30,000 a month in recurring revenue. Just, and the clients are like, what happened to my, why is my order not going out? Yeah, sorry, our merchant, our bank said no. So and that's what's bothered me with all that type of stuff is like the clients are like, my order, I want my product. And I'm like, well, at least have a good product when they're wanting it. So I think where most people compromise is they just try and put something shonky out, something quick out, a quick fix. But there's a compromise and a cost for that.
Yep, absolutely. What's the biggest business mistake you've ever made?
The biggest business mistake is thinking I need to scale faster. And last year I invested 6 figures in systems and people to scale faster. And it was a disappointment process every single time. When if I actually just let the scale happen, it would have been stable. It would have been consistent. And I think a lot of people overestimate the value of consistency and stability. And the lessons I'm applying into everything we're doing going forward is consistent, stable, and just scale from there. Like, yes, you can force it. And sometimes forcing it, you got to add a little bit of pressure. I'm not saying like not to create a diamond, but what I'm not saying is like, there's no shortcut with anything. I had advisors who literally cost me $500,000.
That's crazy. What's a good book that you'd recommend for our audience?
A good book, The Obstacle is the Way.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
The Obstacle is the Way. Do you know who that's by?
I can't remember the guy's name, but it's a good book. Okay. Most of the time as business entrepreneurs, we're avoiding the hard thing. We try to go over, under, around an obstacle, turn around. New shiny object is a big thing for entrepreneurs. I was part of a mastermind group last year, and part of that was like all these guys were like looking for the next Twitter, the next Facebook, the next AI tool thing. I'm like, dude, they're all ugly women that you can just make beautiful. Nothing against ugly women or people like that, but like the analogy is like it's just the redheaded stepchild, right? Every business is ugly. Every business gets boring. Like, so the thing is it's about doing more better, not new and different. And I think anyone taking this journey, it's not about doing more new shiny objects. It's about really doing what you're doing well. Like I started with 180 SKUs. I now have 5 and we make 100 times more of 5 SKUs. I literally had one SKU do $300,000 last year. One product SKU. Like you don't need, and like this is a guy in an RV. Like Like life was freaking good.
Yeah. Only problem with mushrooms is when they start growing, they grow. It's good, but man, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, but get this though, I did this with never growing a single mushroom.
Yeah.
So I worked out
Yeah.
a
You
process to
have somebody else doing that, right?
work with a lab to secure a high quality product that's more expensive than
Yep.
most companies will ever spend on a product, using a
Yeah.
process that's just world class, which then has become our competitive advantage. So
That's awesome.
a lot of people get distracted by trying to turn what they love into a business but then what you love turns into a job at some point, and then they
Yeah.
resent it. So
And then you hate it.
yeah, understand that on the way in, and then go, okay, how do I have to build the systems to thrive? And now there's some phenomenal tools to facilitate this.
Yeah. That's awesome. What is a tool that you use in your business every day that you might recommend?
Well, a tool that we just built all our systems in is lovable.dev, like a coding tool. Like we use ChatGPT, Claude every single day. Like, and I think people underestimate how powerful these AI tools are now getting. And it's not the AI tool that's inappropriate; it's the user doesn't put the time in to develop the skill to master it. So if you're looking at these AI tools and you haven't used any of them, seriously, like learn out how to master ChatGPT even. It can save you hours of work, and understand
Oh my
that's
gosh.
a competitive advantage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started using ChatGPT probably about 4 months after it was really introduced, before it became public. And, just watching how it's evolved over time. It seems like every time I log onto it, there's another version of it, and each version gets better. And, you learn what you can do across the board. So I think I totally agree with you. I mean, speed to market with using AI is just an absolute must. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind
And I
in the
think one
dirt.
of the things people get too hooked onto is perfection. So the thing
Yeah.
is improving something 1% a day is actually more valuable than trying to get it perfect before you launch. Like
Yep.
launch an imperfect system. Like I started shipping bottles, and I just put these bottles in plastic mailers, and then 1 in 100 would get smashed and broken. So then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I maybe need to put these in a box. Like I didn't have the perfect packaging. We still don't have printed packaging because we're iterating and improving and changing and evolving. And I think people respect that, where a lot of people go, oh, I need to create this perfect package, this perfect parcel. I need to create this perfect site. There's no freaking
Yeah.
perfect site. Like the amount of money I spent on my website last year, and we've rebuilt it 5 times.
Yep.
And we just launched now our own version of the software. Like it literally threw away like tens of thousands of dollars of build each time. This is just the life. I think a lot of
It's the
people,
process.
or they get focused on the wrong thing. Like, well, I haven't got my business card, so I can't launch. What?
Yeah.
Like, go get an
You don't need a
order.
business card.
Go get a bloody order, and then work out what you actually need. You'll be surprised how little you need to grow and scale a business, which I think shocks more people than many others.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Last question, and I'm waiting for your answer on this one. What is your definition of freedom?
My definition of freedom is having the time to choose what I want to do or what not to do. And literally, if I want to go out on the pontoon boat today and not come into the office, be able to do that. If I want to go for a bike ride for the next 4 hours, I want to do that. If I just want to go hang out with my girlfriend and just go have some fun on a hike, be able to do that and have peace and confidence about that. It's not about flashy cars, big homes, whatever. For me, like at some point you realize that the materialism actually is not as satisfying as you think it is. But it's really about that quality time and that freedom of pressure. It's I think for a lot of people, that's what we all crave, and we think the things will cause that, but it's got nothing to do with it.
That's awesome. Well, Ben, thank you for being on the show. If somebody is interested in learning a little bit more about you and your company, where's the best place to go?
Best place to go is literally bareremedy.net, B-A-R-E, remedy, R-E-M-E-D-Y.net. Or if you want to send an email, you can literally, there's an email and a phone number on the top of the website. You can literally email us, text us, call us. And most of the time, I'll pick up the phone because I still love chatting with people. I still love getting involved with people. And it's the human connection.
That's outstanding. Especially talking to somebody who is major in the e-commerce world, having somebody that says, "Hey, I want to talk to people," is a totally refreshing approach. So, Ben, thank you for being on the show, sharing your story with us. For those folks that are maybe interested in the mushroom world, go to bareremedy.net and see a little bit more about it, and maybe become a distributor someday. So thanks a lot. We will see you guys back here the very next time, and for a wonderful 2026.